This is little Theo. Theo has been with us for about 2 months now. Theo was one of 17 puppies that were dumped at the city shelter overnight in cardboard boxes. So we went and we got half of them, and another rescue took half of them. So we've just been working on making sure he's healthy and happy, and he's actually doing great and is almost ready for adoption along with his siblings. Given what he's been through in such a short amount of time, we really wanted to talk about the state of affairs here in Kern County when it comes to our dog populations. So we got some numbers shared with us by one of the shelters in town. I'm gonna give you some really rough statistics to hear, and I want everybody to bear in mind that this is one shelter, and it's actually the smaller of the two main shelters we have. So you can probably double at least if you're gonna include statistics from the second shelter. Intakes from January through June, so the first half of the year, we already took in at one shelter 3,625 dogs. That doesn't count cats. That breaks down to roughly 20 dogs a day entering one shelter. Of that, almost 1,000 are puppies under 5 months of age. About 1,000 Theos in 6 months. That works out to 5.5 puppies a day are being turned into one shelter. Owner surrenders, that's 267 dogs surrendered by their owners that we know of in 6 months. That's 9 dogs a day being surrendered by the families that own them. And again, that's what we know of. That's not us guessing. So that number's probably way larger. So then let's talk about the outcomes for these dogs. So adoptions, 629 in 6 months. That means that the community has adopted 3.5 dogs a day versus the 20 dogs a day coming into that shelter. Return to owners, so owned dogs, having responsible enough owners to come get them out of the shelter, is a whole whopping 468. That's 2.5 dogs a day that go back to their owners. Again, out of the 20 dogs a day that are coming into the shelter. Rescues have taken in 6 months 1,178 dogs. That's 6.5 dogs a day that are being pulled by rescues. Here's the really tough one to look at. 1,331 dogs have been euthanized in 6 months from one shelter. That's 7 dogs a day in one shelter are dying every day. We blame the shelters. You should make the shelter bigger. You should have more staff. If we make the shelter bigger, the shelter's just gonna fill up because we're not getting the community support that we need. This isn't a shelter problem. This isn't a rescue problem. This is a community problem. This is owners who continue to breed dogs. This is owners who continue to dump dogs. These are owners who continue to just leave their dogs at the shelter and not claim them when they go in. The shelters are not making this situation. They're trying to get us out of it. But we need more support from the community. We need adoptions. We need owners to go get their dogs. Just so you know, 4th of July and usually New Year's as well, RTO, return to owner fees, are waived because we have so many dogs enter the shelter facilities. We just want them to go home. We're not charging you for them. We just want them to go back home. So please, if your dog escapes, if your dog is running loose, go to the shelter, get it, take it home. Otherwise, chances are it's gonna die. Rescues are doing everything they can, but we're full because we're not getting the adoptions. Eventually, we're gonna have to stop pulling dogs. And when we stop pulling dogs, there are not enough return to owners or adoptions to support our shelter systems, which means more and more dogs are gonna die every day. I'm not okay with 7 dogs dying a day. That breaks my heart. And again, we're talking about one shelter. So you've got to figure in Kern County, we probably have close to 20 dogs a day dying. Now, I get that taking care of dogs can be hard. So I want to talk about some resources that the community has. We have the Bakersfield Pet Food Pantry. So here's an organization that supplies food to pet owners so that you don't have to give up your pet because you can't feed them. We have low-cost vaccine clinics to keep your dogs healthy. Those are provided through the city, through the county, through Critters Without Litters. We have low-cost spay and neuter, again, provided through city and county vouchers, through Critters Without Litters, and through the SNP bus. Unity Rescue here in Bakersfield provide food, vaccine, spay and neuter to help homeless populations with their pets. You have Friends of Abandoned Dogs who go out and they track where these stray dogs are being dumped in orchards, and they provide food, they provide vaccines, they try to line up rescues for these dogs that the community has abandoned. Unfortunately, members of the community have been finding out where these locations are, and they're going and stealing food that rescue is putting out to help the stray dog population. There are resources to help you, but the problem in Kern County is not going away, and it's not getting better. We need community support. We need the community to hold each other accountable. We need the community to stand up and tell our city and county officials that they need to put more into taking care of our pet populations. We need more pet-friendly housing. We need more government-funded spay and neuter incentive programs. We need laws that actually hold backyard breeders accountable. Backyard breeders. Not ones with permits, not ones making sure their pets are healthy. The backyard breeders that are breeding litter after litter after litter and dumping them at the shelter. We need you to hold those members of the community accountable, because we cannot sustain this anymore. And remember, every day, 7 dogs in one shelter are dying every single day. We need your help.